Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wonderful Games. Actually, the Ladies Tale podcast. No! Boom! Who came back and just rocked it? That would be Jade. Yes, it's so important I talk about myself in the third person. That would be Jade. She came back and rocked it.
I'm gonna just go R-U-D-E.
Are you gonna call me rude? You're just mad because I beat you. Because I beat you good.
Yeah, I'm very upset about it.
Yeah. I felt the salt over here. I was like, do you have some tequila with that salt?
Girl,
right?
now I got a taste for lime.
I know, right? And a lime. Yeah.
They're going on the wrong way. We have an important professional guest.
Oh,
we have
right.
to try to pull it together.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. We are going to be professional now. I am Jade.
And no, good job with introducing us. That did not last long at all.
I know, right? I just went through I am Jade and then professionals out the window again. All right, so we were literary life guys with pop poetry.
It's so nice to hear you say that. I haven't been saying that at all. Keep going.
I know,
what are those literary life guys?
Because, I've been sick. I've been in the weeds, but we got back. I'm back.
Oh, you just said in the weeds. I heard in the wheezing.
In the wheezing?
I was like, what is that? All right. We wrote these books and I thought divorce was bad. And I thought being grown up is easy. If only I were me, a memoir in verse. Widow's wet, widow's debt, foreign coffee. Am I missing anything?
If only I were me, a memoir in verse.
There we go.
And you can get those where you get your audiobooks. And we don't call them books, we call them literary life guides with pop poetry.
And we have 11 more books, which equals an entire total of, you all know it, it's the PBS section of the show where I go, let's learn sign language. All together, it's 17 books. Right.
But you can find out everything your ladies are doing on www.andithoughtladies.com. But y'all aren't here to hear about me and my sickness or how Winona got beat. They're saying the ladies cave. No, the Ladies Tale podcast.
I'm glad you got it wrong the second time.
I got it wrong, but I still got it the first time.
You're here about our wonderful guest.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey. I am Brett Dismuke, the general manager of WE TV and ALLBLK, America's #1 streaming service for the Black experience. So what else y'all want to know? I think cheese grits with sugar is the best food on earth. I am a New Edition groupie, and I'm from the South Side of Chicago. They always got my back right there. Boom.
Okay, food. First of all, food in Chicago, killer. Can't eat better almost anywhere ever.
Best soul food I've ever had was South Side of Chicago, and then it was Atlanta.
It was.
Okay.
And we're gonna get hate mail on that one, okay? But it's okay. They're gonna be like, Atlanta was second to Chicago. You gotta go.
Go to Chicago and then tell me it ain't second.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
I'm just
okay. Now back to you.
I'm gonna be distracted. Yes. Can we talk hot dogs and pizza from Chicago?
Oh yeah, absolutely. What? Listen. So, ketchup does not belong on hot dogs.
Yes.
Okay. Now. There are a lot of things that can go on hot dogs. It's not ketchup though. Now, barbecue sauce is acceptable. Mustard is acceptable. Mayo is acceptable. Now, a lot of people, they get into the tomatoes, sauerkraut. I don't go that crazy. I'm not like, that, because Chicago has like 3 sides. It's the white side, the black side, and brown side, right? On the black side, we won't be doing the sauerkraut and the tomatoes on the hot dogs. But if you go up north, they absolutely, it looks like a garden salad on their hot dogs. And I'll be like, y'all bugging. However, no ketchup on hot dogs. And Chicago actually has 2 types of homegrown pizza. We have our deep dish, which the argument is Giordano's or Lou Malnati's. However, you got to give a shout out to Connie's. You got to give a shout out to Gino's East with the cornbread crust. Even at Eduardo's over there in Hyde Park. Y'all might not know about that. But the second type of homegrown Chicago pizza is thin sliced around pizza cut in squares. So each slice is a square. So shout out to Rossi's, shout out to Home Run Inn. So anyway, so I know a little bit about hot dogs and pizza.
Okay, I've had Home Run Inn. I have not had Rossi's.
So now it's on the list.
I do know about it. Okay, so we used to go to Chicago once a year, and we would diet for 4 months and work out real. I mean, we would not miss the gym.
Yeah.
Because all we did
from January 1st to like May 20th. 20th.
Yeah,
Hardcore diet.
because we went for
You would diet for the trip.
Yes.
Yeah,
because when we eat 8 hours a day. We get up and our job from 8 to 4 is just to eat.
Yes.
yeah.
3 days straight.
Yes.
So it's just 24 hours of food. Your belly be bursting.
A stretch pants. Like I never looked cute in Chicago because it wasn't that time. It was time to get Bender hot dogs off the street. Let's talk about popcorn. We had to eat it.
Soul food
Let me
in
tell you
the
something.
outside.
Well, first of all, I mean, listen, we got the best popcorn too. You gotta have Chicago style mix, which is cheddar and caramel, not caramel, caramel. But I will say this, and this ties into the second thing about me. The best corner spot now, because we can talk about chicken wings too. But I'm gonna get back to that. The best corner spot place to eat in Chicago is a place called Carnes. It is on Polk Street, right? It is literally, you could basically say it's on the campus of UIC. Which
in the pen.
Right
right
here.
now, the reason why that's important is because my high school, Whitney Young, was right across the street from UIC. But in addition to that, the very first place I ever saw New Edition live was at the UIC Pavilion, October 6, 1988. I'll let your boy.
Oh my goodness,
So
that's
listen,
amazing.
So that whole corner is special to me.
I love it.
Yeah,
Okay, I think we're supposed to ask like real professional questions.
Question.
I told you, you said like food in Chicago is food. Like it to me.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other things to do in Chicago.
I know.
And we just don't know about them
Because we eat too much.
Right.
We go there to eat, and then like our favorite two of our favorite charities are up there for children, and then one for Ethiopian children. So we go up there for 2 charities, and then we look fat in our dresses.
Yes, we do.
We just bring our big dresses.
Yes, we do.
And then we eat. That's it. We know nothing else about Chicago.
That's
and
what you're supposed to do in Chicago. That's why we have a
Naperville.
taste of Chicago.
Yes, I love the taste of Chicago.
Oh, we plan our entire summer trip around. We go into the taste of Chicago.
Okay, so we need to talk about how you got the addiction to New Edition.
Okay,
because that's real.
Like what made you go, okay, yeah, New Edition. That's the sound
that
for
is
me.
my
because
my
I mean, honestly, how many boy bands have come out that are like try to copy that sound? Like they were grown men, but
Well, here's the thing, and this is what I want everybody to understand about New Edition. New Edition is the ultimate Voltron when it comes to groups, and this is what I mean. So New Edition started with 5 members: Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, and Ralph, right? Then Bobby left, they brought in Johnny, right? So now you have a 6-member group that has moving parts. But from that group, Bobby went platinum solo, Ralph went platinum solo, Johnny went platinum solo, BBD went platinum as a trio, right? When you think about every other group in the history of music, no one has had the combined success and the individual success. Not the Supremes, not the Temptations, not Destiny's Child, not Boys to Men, Jodeci, not New Kids on the Block, not the Rolling Stones. I could go on and on. No one else has ever done this. They're the greatest, period.
Wow. Well, now that you explain it, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to some of this music.
I have thoughts.
I have to go back.
I have thoughts, but I'm told I have to agree with my guest. So yeah.
Wait, you say you have thoughts? What? You a Jagged Edge fan? What?
Oh no, I feel like the band behind James Brown, which eventually made up George Clinton and Parliament, I feel like they did it just a titch better.
Well, okay, so I'll say this. The fact that you had to say the band behind James Brown, like give me some names. Like every person's name in music. You said the band behind. Who is roughly accountable for Parliament.
That's one.
You only said one name. You said
that's one person. And he was the whole group.
That's true.
We give it to you, but we give it to you. Okay, so let's talk about.
See, I should have kept my thoughts to myself. I said I had thoughts, but I need to agree with my guy.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So we need to talk about how you got this career. Like, did you start out being like, I want to be a general manager?
Did you start out with like PA, director, actor? What did you start?
So, okay.
your children have goals. Like some of them are like, we didn't even know that job existed. I'm glad you had that goal.
Right. So no, I'm gonna give you the short version. So after I went to the Any Heartbreak tour, like I said, in 1998, it was New Edition, Bobby Brown, and I'll Be Sure. It inspired me to go into the music business. So now I'm 12 years old. I looked up in a magazine and it had all of the addresses for every record company in the United States. I hand wrote, because we didn't have email back then. I hand wrote a letter to each one of those record companies and said, I'm a 12-year-old kid from the South Side of Chicago. I just need information on how do I go into the music industry. Not one label responded to me, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So I started writing music, mm-hmm. and I formed a group at 13. We were called LA Crew, Little Adults from Chicago Ruling the Entire World. This is true. I can't make this up. So, so we were.
I feel like that's the name of a book.
I feel like you're already writing your memoir. Like I feel like that's LA. Like yes, I see it.
So we started doing talent shows. Then I outgrew that group because I was like practicing all the time, and I was like, yo, like we can't still do the same stuff we did when we were in 7th grade. So now I'm in high school. I joined the concert choir in high school, which led to joining a 4-part harmony group. So you couldn't tell us we weren't Boys to Men. We were called Blase Skip. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So look, so we started singing around the city of Chicago, homecomings, the winter dances, all that stuff, right? And so then it was time to make my decision for college. So I turned down scholarships and free rides to go to school in the Midwest and the South and on the East Coast to go to USC in LA because I wanted to be in the music industry. So I went to Los Angeles as a 17-year-old freshman with the desire to be Michael Bivins. And you might say, why do you want to be Michael Bivins? I wanted to be Michael Bivins because I wanted to be an artist in a group, but still work on the business side of the industry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I promise you this happened. So my freshman year of college, I started poking around and showed my interest in my eventual fraternity. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. And so I joined the Noops, and Montel Jordan was one of the Noops in the chapter. So he took me under his wing because he had just gotten signed to Def Jam. And so I was there when This Is How We Do It got created and all of that. And I was able to see, from the artist and management side, how he went from, being an aspiring artist to being on tour with Boyz II Men and TLC. Now, in the meantime, I was watching Video Jukebox. Like, I don't know if y'all remember that, but so that's where you could watch the television channel and you could call in and put in the code, and it was like $1 for every selection, and you could pick which video you wanted to come on.
Okay, that's a YouTube moment. Okay.
Yes, YouTube. So there was this video that came on. It was called This Little Game We Play by Subway featuring 702. So I'm watching the video and I see all these things about Chicago in the background. Now, I'm in LA at college. I see all the subway and Chicago, scenery. At the end of the video, when the Chiron popped up, for all those out there, the Chiron is the information that gives you the name of the song, the artist, the record label, sometimes the director. Well, it said This Little Game We Play feature Subway featuring 702. It said Motown / Biv 10 Records. I said, Biv 10? I said, that has to be Michael Bivins. I called information. We didn't have Google. Okay. I called information and I asked for the number to Biv 10 Records. I called Biv 10 Records. A guy by the name of Steve Cook, who is still my mentor to this day, answered the phone. And I was like, hey, are y'all looking for interns? This was on a Friday. He said, yeah, can you come down on Monday? I said, yeah. went down to BF10 Records at the Motown offices on Wilshire in LA, walked in, Michael Bivins is sitting there. And I became him and Steve Cook's intern for 6 months and learned everything I could from their label business. He was preparing to go on tour with New Edition for the Home Again tour. And then after interning with them, I got a college rep position at a company called Polygram, which was eventually bought by Universal. So the Universal Music that you know now, I used to work for them in the 90s. So anyway, so I did 10 years in the music business, doing, you know, college promotions, sales, marketing, and then I wound up doing A&R. And then I moved to Phoenix to be an on-air personality for a radio station. Did that for a year. Then I moved back to LA. But when I moved back to LA, the music business was not the same because digital downloading had caused a lot of the labels to downsize. So there weren't a lot of record label jobs. So because I had a marketing background, there was a DVD/independent film company called Urban Works that was looking for a director of marketing. I applied for that. I got it. The rest is history. So I did 10 years in the music business. I then transitioned into film and television, and now I'm in my 18th year of film and TV. And so over that time, I've done DVD distribution, I've done marketing, I've done sales, I've done, excuse me, casting, and then I got into producing. I left a company and started producing films for Up TV and then TV One and then BET. And then based on that and my distribution background, I was brought in to run what is now called the ALLBLK network. I was the chief content officer. And then as I was developing content for them, AMC Networks bought us. And one of AMC Networks' business units was WE TV. And so they liked what I was doing at ALLBLK. And so they was like, we need you to do that at WE TV as well. And so I sit here today as the general manager of ALLBLK and WE TV.
That is fabulous. And that is a
Jade, you have a question, so I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like, first of all, I think that's a great story. No, it's fine. And I feel like the LA crew is like that memoir is gonna have all that, and we're gonna have more in-depth stuff. And I'm excited
and
to read it.
more importantly, there'll be more restaurants in Chicago that you ate at that I can go to.
And then we could just get some people to put a nice little blurb on the cover. I see the blurb already. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, my question is, how important do you think that it is for an artist to understand the business behind the creative? Like, you know, you want to create, right? Because we're authors, we want to create. But how important is it for us to understand the business, how we get paid?
So I will tell you this.
If it is important, what can we do?
Yeah, I will tell you this. It is absolutely important to know the business side of this industry, because I don't know the first place I heard it, but I've heard it 1,000 times. And they say it's called show business. And a lot of people only focus on the show. A lot of people only focus on the business, and you can't. You have to understand how both sides work to really be successful. Because even a suit, right? Somebody who is just involved in the business side, if you don't understand the creative process and how artists think and operate and move, if you don't understand that some people, you know, create best from 2 a.m. to noon, you know what I mean? Like, then you don't get it. And so I think they go hand in hand, because Chuck D, who, you know, leads the group Public Enemy, he told me, and I was still in college when he told me this, he said, Brett, what do you want to do with your career? And I said, well, I want to be Berry Gordy. And he was like, well, what does that mean? And I said, well, Berry Gordy ran a successful record label. He also produced the films that he wanted to do, whether it was Lady Sings the Blues, whether it was The Last Dragon, right? So he combined music and film and did it his way. And Chuck D said, okay. He said, that's dope. He said, all right, so let's start with running your own company. He said, let's start with the record side of it. He said, rapping and singing, writing and producing are 3 jobs within the music industry. He said, there are 85 other jobs in the music industry. He said, go find out what those are and you can run your own record company, right? And so I kind of took that to heart. So that's why, you know, I have, jumped into so many different areas, again, from producing to casting to sales to marketing to artist development to finance and P&Ls to A&R. I needed to know how all of these different departments work so that I understand how the machine comes together. And I would say the same thing about artists. You have to study the business side. If you're going into music, there's a great book written by Kashif called, Everything You Better Know About the Music Business, right? But then Kevin Liles followed that up and he wrote a book called Make It Happen, right? Like you can find out, they give you the nuggets and the jewels in there about different things that you need to know. Because here's the thing, your lawyers and your managers and your agents, they work for you. So if they work for you and they're getting a percentage from you, you have to understand the conversations that you're having with them. Because if you don't, how does your employee know more than you? That's how you get taken advantage of. You know what I mean? And so, but in terms of on the film side, go to film festivals. Go to film festivals for this reason. A lot of people feel like you go to film festivals to watch movies and to party. That is true. That statement is true. However, every film festival has a ton of panels going where they are tackling different areas of the business, and you have, a panel of industry experts that are speaking on said topic. That information is invaluable. You can't find this information in a book. Go to film festivals and attend the panels and get your drink on too. But you know what I'm saying? Do the panels first.
Right after you took your notes.
After you take your notes and you put them away because you don't want to lose them.
Right.
Okay.
And you don't want to spill your drink on them.
So I have a 2-part question, which might turn into a 3-part question. It has nothing to do with each other.
3-part question?
No, it's 2. It's just 2.
Okay.
1, what does a chief content person do? And then number 2, well, actually, you work for WE TV now, so it feels like this is a silly question, but I wrote it down in preparation, so I'm asking.
You wrote it in preparation, okay.
Because everyone is trying to diversify right now, there has been an argument that we do not need things like all black TV anymore. Some thoughts on that? So first one is, what does the chief content person do? And do we still need like BET?
Right. So here's the thing. One, a chief content officer is the person that is responsible for every piece of content that you find on the network. So that falls into a lot of different categories because depending on what that network does, for instance, at All Black, we have documentaries, we have feature films, we have stage plays, we have docu-series, we have short films, and within all of those genres, we have comedy, romance, thrillers, action, spoofs. And so the chief content officer is responsible for curating all of this content and not only watching the submissions that are sent in, but reading the scripts that are sent in, but also reaching out to major studios like, Sony and Lionsgate, or finding independent filmmakers at film festivals to acquire their content, and putting all of these pieces of the puzzle together to give you, the subscriber, the experience that you have. So that's what a chief content officer does.
Your A&R background was just invaluable right there.
Yeah. Absolutely. No,
invaluable.
that's exactly what it is. So acquisitions on the film and TV side is just like A&R on the music side. It's the same job. It's the same job. So in terms of why do we need All Black? Why do we need BET Plus? Why do we need the For Us By Us network? One, if we solely relied on the majors to provide us with content that reflects us, we would only get a fraction of the stories, of the perspectives, of the influence, of the like, think about it like this. The Black America in particular now, and we could go deep and talk about other countries, because we all Black. If you taking it from me, we're all Black, but I will focus on Black Americans for a second. We are not a monolith, right? And so if you look at certain networks, they will only, if they have Black content on, they will only put on Black comedies, or they will only put on Black romantic films, or they will only put on this or that, right? So the purpose of an All Black, of a BET Plus, of a Zeus, is to highlight the plethora of Black stories that we have here in America. There are 40 million Black Americans. So why should those 40 million people be subjected to just having 8% of the airtime of 5 major companies? So it's in the math. That's why we need All Black.
Okay, wow. One more hard question that I wrote down.
You have a hard question. Another hard question. We'll know it. She's really trying to be professional
You
today,
y'all. She did a 2-part.
High five. High five.
You did say a 2-part. Yeah.
I should do what? I'm sorry.
I was about to say, you should be done with the hard questions.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So no more hard questions.
No, I really do have to ask it. I did. Okay, so like you were around when the music went from like music and CDs to like digital downloads, and the same thing happened in TV. What do you see as the future? Because I feel like you have a better projection than most.
Listen, let me tell you this. Historically, the medium in which people consume entertainment is only supposed to stay around for 7 to 10 years. So like if you look at music, we went from 45s and 33 records, 8 tracks, cassettes, CD. Then they had the little UMD, which is the little disc that you could play on the PSP, the portable PlayStation. And now we have digital downloading, right? On the film side, we had Laserdisc, we had VHS, then we had DVD. The DVD threw a curveball to the industry because a medium is only supposed to survive 7 to 10 years. The DVD was founded in 1997. It is still around today, even though, you know, the average person is not watching DVDs. A lot of kids are still watching their content on DVD. So that means the DVD medium has lasted 25 years. That is unheard of. So I would say this, in terms of looking towards the future, because now we have digital downloading, it will morph again. It will evolve again. We don't know what the next medium is. We just have to be flexible enough to pivot when that medium introduces itself. Because at the end of the day, even though I just named, you know, 8 different mediums in the last 40 years for music, and 6 different mediums or 5 different mediums for film and TV in the last 40 years, what does not change, what remains constant, is the content itself. People are still going to sing songs into a microphone and record it. People are still going to turn on a camera and shoot movies and TV shows. How we view those shows or listen to those songs are irrelevant. Just be able to stick and move.
Wow. I mean, that was some real knowledge right there. Like, he's like, pivot, stick and move.
I was thinking about like all the people that we have interviewed, and I'm like, ain't nobody ever said just be able
stick and move. Let's go.
You got to be ready.
Pivot. Okay, so I have a two-part question because I'm copying Winona. First, when people are pitching, what should that look like? And then second, what advice do you give people out here that are trying to follow their creative dreams?
All right. So when people pitch, so here's the thing, you never know where the pitch is going to take place. You might be on the elevator, you might be at the bar, you might be at a film festival, or you might get a meeting set up, or you might just have to email something, right? So number one, you have to know your information. When I say know your information, you got to do a little research. We are in the information age. You know, everything is on the internet. So if you are putting together a pitch document, and let's say you are pitching a horror film that costs $500,000, you cannot in your pitch document, because in your pitch document, you are supposed to list comparable titles. We call those comp titles, right? Because that gives the executive 2 or 3 or 4 other titles to look at and say, okay, this is similar to this, right? Well, if you are proposing doing a horror film that's cost $500,000, your comp titles in that pitch deck should not be horror films that cost 20 million. That's apples and oranges. You know what I'm saying? And so it's about going onto Google and looking up horror films that were shot for $500,000 and looking at their performance and seeing how that, you know, how those rolled out. And then you could say, okay, well, my film is similar to that. So, you know, this is the realm that we're dealing with. But the pitch deck itself, the information is the same. People have varying ways of making it pretty. Some people have a Word document, some people make a PDF, some people do a PowerPoint, right? And it's all about how good you want it to look. But the information remains the same. What is the log line? That is a 1-sentence description of your show or movie. What is the brief synopsis? That is, you know, a synopsis that is maybe 2 to 3 sentences. And then you have a long synopsis, which is a nice long paragraph where you're going into detail about what that project is about. In addition to the log line, the brief synopsis, the long synopsis, you also have to have a character breakdown, and you have to highlight, let's say there are 8 main characters in your show or your movie. You need to give a description that is 2 to 3 sentences of each one of those characters. Then if the location of your show or film is important, you need to highlight that and talk about how that location is another character in the show. For instance, Power. Power uses New York City as a character, because that could have easily been a show that was just in a random fictional town, but they purposely put it in New York City, and they use the different elements of New York to help tell their story. You know, those are the main items that need to go in a pitch deck. Like if you go beyond, above and beyond that, and you know, attach some articles that support, you know, the subject matter that you're covering, that's fine. If you go into, you know, a wish list of talent that you would like, that's fine, even though that's not going to be your decision, but it at least gives us an idea of who you envision, you know, in these various roles. So so all in all, that covers a pitch deck. And I think, you know, what people need to know about the business ties back into, you got to do the research, you got to do the homework, know what you're talking about. For instance, if you are pitching a story about a German woman who you know, fled her country and found solace in a German neighborhood in Boston, why are you pitching that film or that show to all Black? You see what I'm saying? Like, but it happens all the time. It's like people will send me pitch decks and say, oh, I have something that is perfect for your network. And you know, from the first 2 sentences, they haven't even watched the network. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, and it's not just about all Black, and it's not just about race, but you know, there's a streaming service called Shudder. Shudder specializes in horror films. I personally know the acquisitions person at Shudder, and I got forwarded an email one day. Somebody pitched a romantic comedy to Shudder, and they were like, this would be perfect for your platform. Again, that shows you haven't done your research about who you're pitching to and what they specialize in. So if you haven't done your research, why should we take your pitch seriously? All right, I'm out.
Oh my goodness. That's true. And wow, I feel like that covers like all the things.
That hurt my heart, right?
Shut up.
Why would you? Unless they die at the end by a mass serial killer.
I mean, like it was like but
the other one gets to live as they're killing them. I mean, I see that.
Right. But the issue is people have a project and then they will just pitch it everywhere, not taking into consideration. Again, that's what cable TV is. That's what subscription services are. They are specialized networks in certain things. You need to know what those things are. How about get a free trial and watch it for a couple of days before you pitch it?
And I feel like that's another invaluable lesson.
I did that before I even asked to invite to like, I was like, oh, I have this email address. Let me watch the entire thing. I watched as much as I possibly could, fell in love with the thing, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna. All right,
so I got.
But you will never get my pitch deck because I got too many white people in it. I'm joking.
She's joking. Okay, that's all right.
Hey, but listen, but there are networks that want that pitch deck with all the white people in it. It's just not us.
Yes, you have a question for us.
Yeah, I got a question for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Both of y'all, and this could be any network. What is your favorite show on television right now? And that could include streaming services.
Right now, yeah, sorry, y'all. So that would have to.
Oh no!
Wait, no, The Mandalorian.
Oh God,
The Mandalorian.
Oh my goodness, right?
The Mandalorian.
Okay.
I mean, I know it's not like right now.
If everyone keep it a secret, I tell y'all.
No,
I actually got to.
Wait, did you say Party of Five?
No.
No, oh God, no, that's far away.
What did you say?
Oh, my word, never mind.
No, we said The Mandalorian.
Bro, I'm sticking with what she did.
Right, The Mandalorian.
So y'all both are saying.
I'll take Star Trek.
Come on, The Child.
Oh my.
Okay, so that's both of y'all's answers.
Yeah, because we are like, I was
gonna go with Star Trek.
I'm a nerd.
But you guys, you have a docuseries that I hate to love.
Yeah,
and I can't stand the fact that I like it.
It's a couple of them.
And I'm just I hate to love this thing, but I gotta like I already know what it is. My subscription just to watch it.
I already know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is.
And we're not going to discuss it on air, but you
know what it is.
Oh, wait, y'all don't want to talk about it?
No, we ain't talking about it. You're an important man. You have somewhere to be. So what we're going to do, where can people subscribe to All Black and maybe follow you on a social media?
Oh man, so listen, so All Black, www.ALLBLK.TV. So we're at allblack.tv. We are offering a 7-day free trial, so you can check us out. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you like us, stick around. We have the most diverse entertainment for the Black audience of any of our competitors. I say that very confidently. And we are also found anywhere that content is streamed. So you can go to our website, or you can go on Google or Apple and download the All Black app. or depending on your cable service, whether it's DirecTV or Comcast or Dish, whoever you have, you can pull us right through your cable menu. Now, in terms of me personally, I have a Facebook page, but I honestly don't post anything to Facebook. I spend my time on IG. So on Instagram, I am Mastermind Brett. That is Mastermind with a Y. MASTERMYNDBRETT. Got to do 2 T's.
I feel like it's like Mastermind Brett, the LA crew. Like I feel like that's the title. I feel like I can see the title.
Can you tell she's a writer? She put that book in right out there. She was like, oh, and we wrap it around to the end of the show. Hey, you know you gotta keep putting it out there so you can read it.
I may have to explore that LA crew angle.
Right. And then I put it out there, and then 2 years later, I'm reading this book that I wanted to read.
All right, Jay, can you wrap us up? Because I got a question for him off.
Oh yeah, I know he's the point.
And he has to go.
Yeah, so okay. So you can find out everything you ladies are doing on www.andithoughladies.com. While you're there, take a moment, go to the middle of the page, see the charities that we probably support. Maybe you can support them also. We thank you in advance for that. And just remember, y'all, wisdom is all around you.
If you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Will, no.
And Jade, bye-bye. Oh yeah, thanks for listening.